Battle of Ireland, Neil Critchley's first European game in charge of Hearts. Brendan Rodgers refusing to change his style of play. And then we've got the Glasgow Rangers, whatever excuse they're going to rock up with Ibrox. It is set to be crazy, set to be action-packed this midweek, but it's that crazy. We forgot to do it yesterday. Yes, we forgot to do it. How about those apples? That great of a European preview show we forgot, but no need to fear. The only games that we've missed so far are Monaco pumping Red Star Belgrade 5-1, AC Milan beating Club Brugge 3-1, and then a few other games that are already midway through. But let's talk about the games that are midway through, and of course we only do the British and Irish teams here. So Arsenal against Shakhtar, currently 27 minutes into the first half. Arsenal off the back of that pretty poor defeat against Bournemouth and went down to 10 men. William Saliba sent off. I mean, we're currently watching it, so I'm going to go Arsenal to win 3-0.
Not really impressing me, Arsenal. I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1?
The wheels are falling off this Arsenal bus. Mikel Arteta, it's time to go, I think.
Anyway, we've got Aston Villa against Bologna. Right, this could have been Super John McGinn against Lewis Ferguson, but they're both sadly injured. It's currently 0-0, 27 minutes in, as you can see. So, again, there's no match fixing. We're not predicting these scores when they've already happened. They're currently ongoing. I'm going to go 2-0 Villa.
Villa should win. Bit disappointing to see two of Scotland's best players not playing in this big European game. Is what it is, though. Lewis Ferguson's going to be out for a while, and John McGinn is, currently injured too. So, I mean, Aston Villa should win. They beat Bayern Munich, so they should really be able to beat Bologna.
That's as true as logic as you can find. They're into Wednesday though, and this is it. Celtic, 5:45 kick-off at Atlanta against Celtic Football Club. Brendan Rodgers coming out today saying he's always been aggressive, he's always been attack-minded, he's not going to change his style of play. And the only word I've got to describe Brendan Rodgers is FUD. Because you know what? If he rocks up to Italy tomorrow with the same plan that he had in Germany, his arse is going to collapse.
That just tells me he's not an elite manager. All this talk of, I'm not going to change, I'm not going to do this, I've always been attack-minded and I'm going to continue to be that way. Like, the best managers adapt and they can play the style that's going to guarantee them the best chance of getting a result. And if Brendan Rodgers just continues to play the way Celtic have been playing in Europe, he's going to hurt his chances here. So I'm just not... To me, that's a sign of a bad manager.
See his logic, right? That only works if you're Manchester City or if you're Real Madrid, where you can just play attacking football against no matter who you're against. And even then, it's like Man City can't play against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu the same way they can play at home against Bournemouth. It just doesn't work like that. For him to think they're going to get beaten tomorrow and there's going to be Celtic fans calling for his head in a sense of, well, you know what?
No, there's not.
There were Celtic fans calling for his head after the Dortmund game, I'll let you know. Because, they've surpassed Scottish football. They want to advance in Europe, and with Brendan Rodgers, they can't do that if he's refusing to change. So, I think they'll be calling for his head.
Well, they did good with Ange Postecoglou, didn't they, in Europe?
Well, they didn't.
Exactly, so it's not really a Brendan Rodgers problem, is it?
It's a Celtic Football Club problem. They need to appoint someone who's good in Europe, because they've outgrown Scottish football, quite clearly.
Aye, but I think Europe's outgrown Scottish teams, so...
Right, well, we have to predict it. I'm going to go 4-1 at Atlanta.
Celtic would be better off in the Europa League.
Yeah, obviously. Like, in terms of a competitive standpoint, but I'm going 4-1.
The Scottish teams just aren't good enough for the Champions League.
No.
And with this new format, I mean, you could maybe sneak into the playoffs. But I just look at Scottish teams performing in Champions League group stages for the past 4 or 5 seasons, and it's been abysmal. Sure, you had a long period where Celtic couldn't even get into the Champions League.
Yeah. No, you're right. What are you going for? I went 4-1 at Atlanta.
I'll go a bit closer. I'll go 3-1.
3-1. I mean, still pretty big defeats.
No Carter Vickers, though.
4-1 and 3-1 aren't disgraceful, but when you're refusing to change, I don't think some people will accept that. Moving on, Manchester City at home to Sparta Prague. I mean, this is a foregone conclusion. Manchester City are going to win. It will be dead. It'll be like a library. I'm going to go 4-0 City.
City are just... I hate City, man. At least my least favourite team, probably, in the world.
Right, Leipzig against Liverpool. 8 o'clock kick-off, like the Man City game. I didn't point the time out in that one. Liverpool obviously beat Chelsea, got Arsenal at the weekend.
You know what? This could be a good game of football, but honestly, I do not enjoy watching football now. I don't enjoy watching what football's become and the styles that teams play. For me, football was much better 20 years ago. See, 20 years ago, I would get excited probably for watching a big European clash more than I would the Scottish game. See, now it's like nothing comes close to the Scottish game.
Yeah, you used to have fun
see,
players.
back in the day, like, the Champions League ties used to be. See, it was AC Milan against Real Madrid or something like that, or United against Bayern Munich. Like, those used to feel massive.
Do you reckon that's a free TV thing? Like, that has a part to play as well? Do you feel like the fact it's behind, like, a paywall? No, I don't think so. I know that sounds weird.
Scottish football could be on TV, streaming, paywall, naywall, blackout, 3 p.m. Scottish football's great.
Yeah, but I think
I've just no interest.
I think the Champions League was at its best on ITV.
So you think the fact that we have to watch it on Amazon Prime instead of ITV, but we're sitting here thinking, oh, this isn't as good?
No, I think it's a part. I think it's a factor. I just think everything about football used to be better in that sense, like accessibility and all that. But yeah, you know,
what's accessibility got to do with enjoyment and actually looking forward to a match? I have no interest in. I have no interest in the Champions League anymore.
There's just no fun players. You know, back in the day, man, you could watch Ronaldinho, Zidane. You know, Messi was in European football. You know, even like a decade ago,
players felt
better.
There was individuals and there were unique players. See now, it's like literally every team plays the same.
Yeah.
Possession-based football. Oh, we'll pass it up to the final third, but there's nothing really on, so we'll pass it all the way back to... Like, what happened to fucking wingers getting on the ball and taking their man on? It's just football. I just do not like European football. It's a hard watch.
It's a hard watch, right? We've got Bayern Munich.
It's mental, like, because it's the best teams in the world, but it just doesn't excite me.
I'm going to go with one.
See, my interest in European football goes out the window. Even the Scottish teams get eliminated.
Yeah, absolutely. And, will that happen come January, actually?
Like, see, back in the day, I mean, I could tell you everybody who made the quarterfinals and could tell you what the semi-finals were from multiple years ago. See, I could not tell you the Champions League semi-final.
Who did Bayer Leverkusen beat in the semi-final of the 2002 Champions League? Ewan Cameron was asked this very same question on the podcast the other day.
Man United.
Was it Man United? Did you bet your top dollar on that? Dimitar Berbatov putting them out?
He played for Leverkusen back in 2002.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know who it is. I wasn't listening. I just heard the question get asked. But yeah, I know he got it right.
Well,
and if you can get it right.
Well, Bayern Leverkusen were in the finals, so were Real Madrid, and I know it wasn't Real Madrid, so...
I don't know who it was. It was just, but you said your knowledge of semi-finals back in the day. So I went 22 years ago back in the day. I thought you might have known, but you don't.
No, Man United were in the semis.
Were they?
No, because they were making a deal out of Hampden and Fergie getting to Hampden because it was in Scotland.
Aye,
and then I remember Zidane with
was that not the semi-finals where Madrid put them out? 4-3 or something? Ronaldo fucking spanked them at Old Trafford.
See, mate, I know Leverkusen were in it and Real Madrid were in it. Obviously, that was final and United were in the semis. Couldn't really remember who the other one was, but I don't even know what the Champions League final was last year.
Where it was?
No, I mean, I couldn't tell you who was in it.
Real Madrid and Dortmund.
Oh, I don't care.
You don't care. Anyway, I'm going 1-1. Leipzig, Liverpool.
I'll go 2-1 Liverpool.
Fair enough. Right, into the Europa League. Now, we're going to look at the table. We didn't look at the Champions League table because it was ongoing and the teams score, it just messes it up. Lazio, Lyon, Tottenham, FCSB, keep an eye out for them because they play Rangers, and Anderlecht are the only teams with a 100% win record. We scroll down to Rangers, who currently sit 17th, which would be a knockout playoff place. United sit 21st with 2 draws, and then at the bottom we've got the teams that you would expect, like Qarabag and RFS have actually got a point in there. But I mean, if we actually look at FCSB, who was their victories against? Doesn't actually tell you. Do you recall who their fixtures were against?
The what?
The victories. I said fixtures. Fixtures. Do you remember?
No, I couldn't.
Anyway, let's look at the fixtures then. Doesn't really matter. Rangers are going to scud them. Not really. Right, we've got into Thursday. So, no games to talk about. Right, Rangers 8 o'clock, man. Right. I feel like this game can't get Clement sacked. I feel like a European game doesn't get a Scottish manager sacked. I feel like it can help in getting him sacked. But I think even if Bucharest here went and won 4-0, I think Clement's still safe.
I think it depends on how far it is into the campaign. Like, if you're losing to I think losing to Progress could get you sacked, or at least
Pedro should have what?
Should get you sacked. Remember that time was it Celtic that knocked out the Champions League qualifier by Ludogorets? I think results like that could get you sacked, but not the group stages. I mean, the only thing I think could maybe get you sacked if you only needed a win or a draw to get into the next round, and it was the last game, and you were playing an absolute shite team. As Dortmund go 2-0 against Real Madrid. But yeah.
Tell you what, Real Madrid, shocking. Beat by... Who did they get beat by? Was it Nice? Not Nice, no, Rangers play Nice. Who beat them? Was it Lille?
Lyon.
Lille beat them?
French team. Lyon.
Freon? Who the fuck's Freon?
I was thinking of France, and I was thinking of Lyon, I said Freon.
Well, when I said fixtures, man, you fucking gave me a look like
I know,
but I spent whoppers down the door.
But Freon sounds pretty good. Fixtures just sounds shite, mate.
Philip Clement sounds pretty bad, so I don't think Rangers will lose this game, but I don't think they'll win it. I'm going to go one each.
Well, I mean, the owner of SB is trying to make history by winning for his bed, and that's interesting.
That is interesting. But the owner picks the team. Yeah, it's worked. They've won the first 2 games in the Europa League, but I'm going to go 1-1. I wouldn't be surprised if Rangers won. I wouldn't be surprised if Rangers get beat. But at the end of the day, it does nothing for me, honestly. They could win 6-0. It doesn't change my facts. Well, let's be honest, man. Rangers, see if Rangers win 4-0, who cares? Who honestly cares? Look how big the problems are domestically.
Rangers could win 100-0. They're still 6 points behind Celtic and Aberdeen. That's the bigger picture.
That's the conundrum, man. It's game over on that. So I'm going to go one each.
I'll go 2-2.
2-2. So 2 draws. I mean, we could really do with Rangers to pick up the win for the coefficient. So just to quickly reiterate here what the results have been so far. They beat RFS 4-1 at home, and then they beat PAC away 1-0. They were down to 10 minutes.
You're talking about FCSB.
Yeah, Star Bucharest. So again, I mean, that's 6 points, but that's pretty poor opposition there. So it's not like they've beat Tottenham United back to back.
You can only beat who's in front of you.
That is it. We've got Tottenham. Ange returns.
And Rangers are pretty poor opposition as well. So
true. All right. Tottenham, Ange returns to play Aysen Alkmaar, who, of course, he struggled against Celtic. Remember?
Why is he returning? Does he used to manage them? Or?
No, but sure, Celtic played them in the qualifiers and they scraped past them. Remember?
Yeah, but he's not even playing them at their home.
Well, they returned the Ange. I don't know, call it whatever you want, but Tottenham are in very good form, man. They've turned it around. They're putting goals. They've managed to score. I tell you what, man, see if Clement's still in charge for that Tottenham game at Ibrox, it could be a cricket score.
I feel bad for Ange Postecoglou. Every single week in English football, there's almost like a stipulation where if he doesn't win, he could be sacked. It's like, I don't know if Tottenham have got... How can Postecoglou's job be on the line every week while fucking that moron at United just...
Eric Ten Tube.
Him. You know what I mean? He's sitting there.
He came out and said, before the Brentford game, which they won 2-1, so congratulations, you're 11th in the league. He came out and said, I don't understand where you guys are getting all this pressure from and negativity. You know, United had scored 5 goals in 8 games. They were sitting, 14th, 15th from the table. Manchester United, which some people consider the biggest club in world football.
The fact that he doesn't think that's a problem tells me that there is a problem and he needs to go.
Yes.
That's just not acceptable. And he's sitting there talking like it's normal. Nah, no worries. Nothing new here.
Nothing normal about it. But we're talking about Tottenham, so I'm going to go 3-0 Tottenham.
I'll go 2-0.
Right. Into the Fenerbahce United game, which we kind of spent a wee bit talking about there with Eric Ten Hag. Again, I don't think this game's going to get him sacked because it's the Europa League and English clubs don't really care about it until they get to the semis and they get Champions League through the back door. But I think Jose Mourinho is going to spank his former club through the back door. I'm going to go 2-0 Fenerbahce.
Jose Mourinho, man, that guy's fallen big time, isn't he? Just managing the Turkish teams now.
has. I tell you what, I don't think Mourinho's too far off, like managing one of the old firm.
I'd say it's possible. Whereas, like 10 years ago, it was...
Aye, not a chance.
Do you think Mourinho's done with a big club? And I don't mean a big club like a Celtic or Rangers. I mean a big club as in...
A rich big club?
Aye. Do you think, or can he earn that if he does well at Fenerbahce? Or do you think that he's had too many big clubs with a lack of success and been sacked too many times?
I think he can get it back, but you're right. I think you could see the writing was on the wall, man. When you go to, you win leagues at Chelsea, you go to United, then you get a move to Tottenham, then you got the move to Roma, which was all right, but Roma in the 2020s. You see Francesco Totti's talking about coming out of retirement. He wants to come back, but the only
player
club
manage
player. He says the only club he won't play for is Lazio. But he says he studied the game and he thinks he can compete at 48. 48, like the guys wanting.
I love Totti. Probably my favourite Italian player of all time. Legend. But I don't think he should come back.
No. I know the Surrey ass slow, like, but how slow can it be?
Well, you'd take him at Rangers, wouldn't you?
So would. Of course you would. Can't be much worse than Cyril Dessers. Anyway, I'm going 2-0 Fenerbahce.
I'll go 2-1.
Right. Into Thursday, the real Thursday plate competition.
We're not already in Thursday, then, no?
Well, you know. Well, technically, Europa League was across Wednesday and Thursday. Anyway, we have got your team, the Diddy team, the team that sit 11th in Scottish Premiership.
The only team to win for Scotland last time. But
I tell you what, I think they'll be the only team to win for Scotland again. They're taking on Omnomia.
Holy shit, I thought we were taking on Panathinaikos.
No, it's Omnomia, whatever you call them. No, amnesia.
Hold on, what badge is that? That looked like Panathinaikos to me.
No, Chelsea are playing them, mate.
Well, I've had a howler. I thought we were playing Panathinaikos. Whoa.
You could have just shut up and went along with Aminoa, but you had to drop yourself into it, didn't you?
I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, I legit actually thought we were playing Panathinaikos.
Oh, well, it is what it is. But, I mean, I think Hearts will win this game.
Are they from Cyprus?
Yes. If Naismith was still in charge, I would be worried, but I tell you what, right?
Hearts win this with one step in the...
Oh, aye. What, you win this? I think if Hearts win this, they're through. There was talk about 6 points, which could be enough.
Nah, I think you probably need like 7 or 8.
Yeah, but if Hearts win this, I think to pick 1 point at the final four is, like, very easy.
Aye, and Hearts should win this. I'm going to go Hearts 3, Omanoia 0.
I'm going to go 2-0. I would like to see Lawrence Shanklin get a few goals.
I'm worried about his form.
You know, he got a good assist against St Mirren, but that was probably about it. Right, yeah, the real Panathinaikos taking on Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea...
Probably the best Chelsea I've looked in a long time.
Yes, about 3 years, I'd say, since they won the Champions League. So I'm going to go for Chelsea to win. I'm going to go 2-0. Why not?
I'll go 3-1 Chelsea.
Fair enough. Right. Oh, we got a Battle of Ireland here.
See that Jagali Leona team? That sounds like a team that you'd see in either like FIFA or PES that isn't licensed and they've just made up a name. Absolutely. But, right, Larne against Shamrock Rovers. It's at Windsor Park. It's not at whatever Larne called their stadium, which I cannot remember. This is a tasty one. I mean, Larne are probably happy about that because I'm assuming they'll make more money because they Will it be a sellout? I don't know, like 15,000. It's... I tell you what. I don't... Windsor Park doesn't know 15,000, does it? I think it's like 12.5, no? No, it's at least 14. I think it's pretty poor, but it's not a sellout. But then again, the only thing is that it's not that special because you do have the All-Irish Cup that non-Irish teams and Southern teams do compete against each other every year. But it's a European game. It's the first ever European game between Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland in the group stage. It's a historical game. It is. It's the first of its kind. This can never be repeated. But well, it can be repeated, but it just wouldn't be first. That's what I'm saying, though. There can only be one. Like Rock Hogan can only happen once for the first time. It can happen again twice. Fuck off. What kind of logic's that? It can only happen. John Cena against The Rock was for the first time ever, and then they did it again. That's what I'm saying. So it can't only happen once? It can only happen once for the first time. Well, no shit. Aye. Dessers can only score his first goal once, but he can still score more than one goal.
Aye, so Windsor Park, it's a history-making moment. Be there or be square. Will you be there?
Aye, but it could
Are
happen
you
again.
going to do the Hearts game? Is that why you're not going to be there?
Yeah,
Or are you working your week because you're 95?
95, unfortunately.
45 minutes, fucking too late. Because you finish at 5, mate. Anyway, alright, I think Shamrock Rovers, they picked up a point in the first game, did they?
I did, aye, good point. Larne, obviously, they fell 3-0 against Molde. Shamrock Rovers, if they win this game, have a real good chance of going through. I think they should win this game. For me, Shamrock Rovers can genuinely be in the next round, but I believe they need to take 3 points. As for Larne, I don't believe they're good enough to qualify, but I do believe they're good enough to get a result here. So it's a big game for different reasons. This might be Larne's, one or two, opportunities of getting something on the board. And as for Shamrock Rovers, I think they've got a real chance of going through, but probably need to get 3 points here. 2 draws for Shamrock Rovers wouldn't be bad by any means, but I think their tougher fixtures are towards the end of the campaign. And I mean, if you want, at the end of the day, I believe Larne, were they not like a pot? What were they, pot 6?
I think they're pot 4. I think the Saints were pot 6.
No, I'm pretty sure Shamrock Rovers were in pot 4. But then I didn't get pot 4 teams complete, so maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Shamrock Rovers 2-1. But I think this could go either way.
Yeah, I put it this way, right? I don't think there's much chance of Larne going through, but if there is, they need to win this game. It's as simple as that. And as for Shamrock Rovers, I think if they want to go through as well, they need to win this game, because we're talking about Hearts. I mean, 6, 7, 8 could be enough. If Shamrock Rovers win this game, then 2 draws are a win. I mean, if Shamrock Rovers win this game, they know they've got 4 games to win, and they'll probably go through to the knockout stages of Europe, which is insane. I'm going to go 2-1 Shamrock Rovers. Where are you going?
I've already picked 2-1 Shamrock Rovers.
Oh, copied then. Right, then we've got the New Saints against Astana. The New Saints obviously got beat 2-0 by Fiorentina, and the articles were pretending that Fiorentina dominated them and battered them. I think the New Saints losing 2-0 to Fiorentina is a fantastic result, especially away. I know it's still a loss, but I tell you what, man. Even if Rangers and Celtic lost 2-0 to Fiorentina, it's not the worst thing ever, is it? I mean, look at Hearts got scudded by Fiorentina.
We did.
So
that was a great result for the New Saints.
You know what I mean? You've got different expectations for different clubs, but here they're at home. I believe they're not actually playing at home. They agreed a deal with was it Wrexham? It might have been Wrexham they agreed a deal with to host the games there. I'm not too sure, but fuck it. I'm going to go the New Saints to get a 0-0 draw.
Well, Astana's not that great, but the New Saints are pretty poor. But they did do well. I'm going to go, unfortunately, 1-0 Astana.
Unfortunately. And that is us. That is us, guys, for the end of this European preview show. There's a lot of games to review. There's a lot of games to break down. Tomorrow the reviews will begin. Celtic against Atalanta. I'd say the review will be at about 8 o'clock, half 8, something in that ballpark. And then on Thursday, I mean, there's no time to breathe, isn't there? Not? It's just a million games at once. I tell you what, Larne against Shamrock Rovers will definitely be getting reviewed. I can't comment too much on the New Saints, but considering it's the one-of-a-kind game that we've hyped up, I'll definitely get a cheeky review here on this channel. But until then, peace.